What are the 7 major sins?
The first one is attributing a companion to God, saying that there is someone else created earth or created the universe. Okay, so attributing a companion to God, shirk. Okay, first one. And the second one is killing someone without having any right. And what are the rights which allows the person to kill someone? I say it is 3. There are 3 reasons by which it's permissible to kill someone. 2 of them belong to the state, 2 of them belong to the governors, police, or for example the governor, and 1 belong to individual also. So 2 of them which belongs to the state is revenge. So let's suppose that one person kills the second person, and the family members of the killed person will go to the court demanding the revenge. Okay, so if it will be 100% confirmed that it was deliberate murder and not mistake and not, for example, misunderstanding, so then state has a right to take revenge. But what about individuals taking revenge? Islamically is not permissible. But revenge is only performable by state, official state, not just made up state. For example, me and you, I will say, okay, I'm president and you are prime minister, or I'm sultan and you are my, for example, prime minister, you know, and then we'll go to perform revenge. Not permissible. It should be official governor. So that is first excuse. And the second excuse is state can apply the punishment of killing, executing someone, if this person causes mess. How? So just group of a people, armed people, and they will start causing mess in that locality. So the governor, they have to negotiate to stop it. Okay, so they have to do all of the ways to stop this mess, and if it takes them to start like fighting with them, so they can use it, but as a last option. Okay, so that is the second excuse which Islam gives to the state, okay, to execute. Okay, and the last one, third one, it belongs to the individual also, and that is self-defense. How? Let's suppose that someone breaks into your house with the knife in his hand or with the gun in his hand. Okay, says, I'm going to kill you. Okay, and now 100% that you are going to die. Okay, so you have your family, etc. So now, is it permissible for you to kill this person in self-defense? I said you have to stop him, and if he does not stop, and there is no any other way of stopping this violence except killing him in self-defense, or otherwise you will be killed and your family members will be killed, I say Islamically it will be permissible. Okay, so these are only 3 excuses, or otherwise it is a major sin. So anyway, coming back, 7 major sins. First is shirk, and the second is killing someone without right, without Islamic right. And third one is slandering a pure people in their honor. What is the meaning of slandering a pure people? Let's suppose that I will say about someone, you committed adultery. Okay, and I'm just lying. So this is a major sin, regardless if it is male or female. Okay, and the fourth major sin is riba, interest. What's the meaning of riba? You come to me borrowing money from me. Okay, so I will say, okay, I will give you, for example, £10,000, but you have to pay it back to me after 1 year as 20,000. So in Islam, that is also another major sin. Because so if you just follow all of the major sins, you see that all of them will be causing some type of mess in the society. So this type of thing will create a lot of slaves. Doesn't have to be like slaves, official slaves, but you will be as a slave, because you will all the time will be under the mercy of this person to whom you are paying back, because your payback is all the time will increasing. So it is one of the ways of creating as slaves. So that is fourth major sin. And the next major sin is taking the belongings and commodity of the orphans.
We're going to go back to the question regarding the 7 major sins and what they are.
Yeah, so so far we have explained 4 of them, and the 5th one is it's when someone just before his death he leaves money with you that you have to be using for his kids because they're going to be orphan. Okay, so Prophet said, "Aklu malil yatim," eating the wealth, the money that belongs to the orphans. So their father left it as amana with you, so you can look after them. But instead of you just keeping it, saving it for them, you will start using it for yourself. So it becomes your commodity now. Okay, so that is the 5th sin, and it used to be quite common in the time of Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. And unfortunately, it's also very common in our time also. So let's suppose that, may Allah forbid, normally it happens in ethnic Muslim countries, in Asian countries, in Uzbekistan also. Whenever someone dies, a young father dies, so definitely there will be orphans behind him. So the family members straight away, they will come. What they will do, they will just rip off everything. Everything belongs to them. And their main concern, especially the family members, their daughter-in-law is their enemies. Do you understand? So in order to take revenge from their enemy, which is daughter-in-law, they oppress their own kids also. The kids of their brother or the kids of their son. You understand? So it is just a very strange behavior, unfortunately. So that is aklu mal al yatim. So that is major sin. So the share of the orphan should be preserved and it should be kept in the safe hands. And when these kids will grow up, when they will become mature, it have to be given back to them. And we have many verses in which God discusses this issue of orphans and their wealth, okay, which is eaten by people, by their uncles, by their aunties, and most of that is done in, like you can say, in enmity towards the mother of the orphans, because for them it was their son who died, okay, and the wife of their son is their enemy. Okay, just so anyway, that is the 5th major sin, and the next one is running away in the battlefield. Let's suppose that army of the enemy will invade into your country. Definitely, government will send a group of army to defend the borders. Okay, so battle started now. And the enemies became very strong, and they started invading, and many of the people killed. So then you will start running away. Now question, why is it a major sin? Because you are causing death. You are disowning your own colleagues, the people who went with you to defend their country. Instead of helping them to stop the oppression, you are running away and you are disowning them. You are leaving them to face the death on their own. But if you would be there, maybe you would prevent it. Maybe you would stop this. Maybe you would help the violence to stop. Maybe you would save some lives of your people who are oppressed as yourself.
Is that sin related specifically to the battlefield?
Yeah.
Or can it be applied in society?
I'm going to explain it. Because the main concept in here, Prophet Muhammad was only giving an examples of the actual, the main sins. Because killing someone and running away in the battlefield is exactly one thing. It's killing someone. Or causing a death of someone without any right. Okay, but why Prophet Muhammad mentioned that in 2 separate things? Once he says killing someone, and then he says leaving, for example, your friends to be killed in the battlefield, because that was the most common, you can say, ways of that society. Okay, so them 2 sins are exactly one, causing death. Okay, so that is the next one, and the very last one is black magic. Seventh major sin is black magic. What is the meaning of black magic? Black magic is to cause harm in the society by hidden different types of knowledge and science. How? By separating the people from each other. Regardless if these people that you are going to separate are married, like a husband and wife, or if it is friends, very dear friends. Or for example, there is another type of magic in which they do not cause a hatred between husband and wife, but they cause a love between, for example, wife and some other person. So black magic leads to the collapse of the societies. Because what is the meaning of society? The meaning of society is the individuals who could be friends, loving friends, or who could be husband and wife. Whenever these individuals will collapse, fall apart, whole society will fall apart. And who is causing it? Black magician. Okay, so I say these are the 7 major destructive sins. Okay, and I say if you just go and read the rest of the, for example, a hadith in which Prophet Muhammad is talking about the major sins, you find that the root of the problem will come back to them. So for example, Prophet Muhammad may say poisoning someone is another major sin. Okay, so we say it is murderer. And coming back to this issue of running away from the battlefield, so the reason of that is causing death to someone. Okay, so I say Islamically, if you cause a death in any way, not only in battlefield, but in any way, deliberately, so you are committing major sin. So for example, let's suppose that there was car crash. Okay, and I'm running, and I saw car crash happen, and I saw that someone is dying. Okay, and I didn't give a call to the clinic, okay, to the emergency, but instead I said, yeah, someone else will take care, and I will just carry on driving on motorway, for example. I'm committing major sin. Okay, but what about if this person will be survived by someone else? That is not so. I will not be responsible for like a major sin because death didn't happen, but yet it is sin because I had to stop and help them. Okay, or another thing, let's suppose that I'm a doctor, I'm a herbalist, for example, and some patient comes to me with life-threatening illness. I know a cure for this person, but because he's my enemy, or because he insulted me, okay, or because when I made a proposal for his daughter, he didn't marry off his daughter to me, you know, and that type of silly things. So because of that, I will not try to help him, okay, but stopping the, for example, death of this patient is not in my hand, but in my hand that I have to try the ways which did work or the ways that can help. So I didn't try any of them, so I just said I'm not going to do it. And if he dies, I say that it is major sin because I'm causing a death. I'm letting someone to die. Yes, so these are the 7 major sins. Yeah.
Jazakallah.